It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I am joined this week by Pete, Dave, and Matt. As ever, we will get straight into it and we'll kick off with some vaguely Everton-related questions. There's only a few this week. Everyone will be happy to know. Pete, as you've got Whiskey Blue with you, I'll come to you on this one first. If Jordan Pickford were a type of dog, what type of dog would he be? For example, as mentioned, I think Maggie said Beto would make a lovely Labrador.
Jordan Pickford, he'd probably be something, I don't know, like a little Jack Russell or something. Like
That's a shout.
Yeah, hard working, not too much fuss, but like can be a little bastard. Yeah. Tough as well, tough. Yeah, I'd say Jack Russell.
That is a great shout. Dave, I was hoping you were going to keep your hat sideways then. Going to introduce DJ Big Daddy Dave from the 051. What are you saying?
Got leather kicks on as well now.
Hey.
I go for you heard them just before we started. My little bastard dashings. We've got two wire hairs and one little mini smooth. I go for the little mini smooth because she reminded me actually the other day of when he was kicking off after the Newcastle game. So like she just kicks off and we take her for a walk around the park and she sees a dog, any sort of dog of any size, and just kicks off big time, like to the point where you have to drag her away, even though like I look like a dickhead anyway because I'm 6'4", 6'4" wide, and I'm walking around with the tiniest dog you've ever seen. So I'm giving her the rule for Pickford.
That's a shout, Matt. Anything outside of like an annoying yapping dog?
Yeah, I wouldn't say him as a yappy dog. I think he's one of the big lumbering daft dogs, like Keith's dog, Max, the golden retriever.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, it is.
Miss Max, I haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah.
He's just
because the bastard moved down south, didn't he?
Yeah, he's amazing. Adam's answer on this was Yorkie Terrier. There's definitely a theme here. Comparatively short for a goalie, borderline mental, and happy as fuck, but fundamentally lovable. I mean, that sounds like Pickford to me. So
at least nobody said a sausage dog because of the tiny arms.
True.
Well, I did.
You did say Dachshund, didn't you? But yeah, it wasn't. Oh, yeah. Tiny arms wasn't the reason.
Ours looks like Slink off Toy Story. Little shit. Yeah.
Could have that for him. Got a good spring on him.
I was going
to. Anyway, Maggie asked, the Gladys Street now has e-bars. I think we've got these in the fan zone, haven't we? Which are basically pint vending machines. What is a recent technological innovation that has revolutionised your life? I've not tried. Has anyone tried one of these e-bars?
We don't have them in the upper.
No.
What's that?
We don't have them in the upper. We don't even have pints in the upper. We just get given a plastic bottle.
Oh, it's just those like 4 bottles of Carlin for 17 quid.
Yeah.
Mega deal.
And I've got one. Cider.
Oh, Christ, that's bad.
I've got one that's quite boring really, but since going to any like sporting events, I've seen them at Wimbledon. I've not been there, but you see them like on the telly and whatnot when there's a camera going around there. But also I've seen loads of them at the Open. This summer just gone, and it's just like you have little water places where you can just refill your bottle with and all that. I actually think that's pretty decent because you get a blistered and hot day watching the golf on Hoylake, and you need to go to a bar to get a drink. But there was loads of like water spots around it. I'm not just talking about one of them, where you used to have at school. You used to pop your head down there and you press the button and they spray all over your face.
Yeah,
it's an actual it's like it's just a drink suspender. That's but it looks much more technological, as the question was asked. You can just put your bottle in. It's ice cold as well. It's not just like piss. So it's it's particularly refreshing to walk a few miles around watching golf when it's like 40 degrees. So yeah, that's what I'm going for.
You've got one of them at Euston and it never works. It puts me head in every time I go.
Definitely some piss there.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. Don't even get anything. Nothing to see down there, mate. But thankfully, they have a while ago at least stopped charging people for the toilets because that was just.
You just said that word charging as well, mate. When we were coming home from Vegas, the airport there was like a lot more charges for your phone, which you don't really see that much. You see them like on the train or whatever, or I don't know if you see them. I've been on a bus for a long time, but I don't know if a bus has one. But I'd love to see more of that. Do you know what I mean? It's so much of a pain in the ass that you can't charge your phone wherever you are. That needs to be addressed in most places. That.
Yeah. Does anyone try the Merseyrail ones? Did they work?
Do they? Yeah, I didn't even know they had them.
I haven't tried them yet.
They're very low voltage. They're pretty slow.
Oh, are they? Yeah.
I was going to say, it's hard enough to get the train to move now, let alone get a fucking charge for your phone.
Imagine it breaking down between Kirby and Headbolt Lane because everyone's charging the phones.
It's all right, mate. Just stop that train. At least I've got fucking 10 bars here. So.
Is it one of those where it's just enough to just keep it alive? And then as soon as you don't plug it, you just go anyway.
That's it. I mean, it's like that on a plane. When you put it on a plane, it doesn't go any higher. It just keeps it as it is, which is sort of all right in it because as long as it'll just stay on all the way there. But you think that's it. Like you just said about the train. You think these days it should be really easy to sort that sort of thing out.
Yeah, just on a similar theme, I would be eternally grateful if someone invented a USB that didn't need to be put in 3 times before you got it right. It's actually against the whole laws of physics that you'd have to do it 3 times because there's only 2 sides. But I always do it at least 3 times. So if it
scratches whatever you've got as well when you do that.
Yeah, does me head in. Yeah, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
They have
Matt. What?
They have
what?
USB-C. You can see that. Hang on. Can't even see with the blur. USB-C. It's symmetrical. It goes in both ways.
Oh yeah, I've got.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. No, that was my important answer.
That one, yeah.
The old school one, yeah. But no,
right, I'm spot on with Les there. The amount of times I've tried to throw it into the portal, and it's gone the wrong side, scratch fuck out of it. I've gone the other way, and it's still scratched it because I have to obviously precisely be in the right direction. What am I doing here? Fuck's sake.
So what's that, Matt? There's USB-C.
Yeah.
USB-C is the only one that goes into the Macs, isn't it?
No, that's a totally different one. That's like a flash or fire or something. I don't know. I don't use that.
Yeah, fire finger is. That's what. Yeah.
But no USB-C.
I was on about. Feel like I wear hoodies here. I was on about this one.
Lightning,
that's the C.
Yeah. That's the C. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is red hot consumer chat. This.
It is. I love it. I didn't actually know that existed.
I'm a huge fan of, and it's not necessarily new technology, but I'm a huge fan of Ring doorbells because of just the brilliant content that it provides. My mate Jay, I don't know where he lives somewhere down by Prescott Road, I think, or he used to anyway. And honest to God, the videos that he gets off his Ring doorbell are incredible. And also we realised that he had the shape of a tree across the road from him. I'll have to send you this photo later. Was in the shape of the Queen, and we pointed it out to him, like the shadow of the tree. It was literally like the Queen's sign. Yeah, you're like on a coin, genuinely. Yeah. And I pointed it out to him. She died 2 days later, and I was like, "Oh my, like what's going on?" We were like, but like all kinds happens around there. Like he has like police chases and like crashes and just people slipping over. It's great. It's great viewing. Like,
yeah, a girl in work's got one, and she saw someone nick a pint of milk from outside the house. But it was just after the milkman. The milkman had literally pulled up, dropped the milk off, gone, and then someone just legged it straight after him, nicked the milk, and got off. Excellent. So I reckon this fella had been following the milkman or something. Bit weird though. Yeah, they are useful for that. Not so useful if you want to draw the cock and balls on someone's door, though, is it? Because it'll just it'll get you. You know, just say you did.
Have you seen these videos on Twitter? Last couple of days, I've seen them. Some Scouse fella, you know the way when you're ordering a pizza or a kebab or whatever, and you get dropped off at your house, and some fella just who obviously probably getting like a $5 an hour or whatever, hops in his car, so any car it is. Usually by ours, it's some sort of banger that won't move until he's like jumped up and down on it or something like that. And on the videos, he's gone to some woman's house, and he's not and give her the pizza. He sounds like an elderly. You don't see her face because like he's hit the buzzer to get her. And she comes out and he goes, "Here you go, love, you're all right." And she goes, Yeah, it's been over an hour, like, but yeah, it's sound that. And he goes, "It's not my fault, love. I'm only the driver," which obviously is right. And she goes, Yeah, but if it's cold, you can fucking take it back, can't you? So he just walks away like with his head down, thinking like I've done a bad job. And he gets to the end of the garden where he is, close the fence. And she goes, close that fence now, will you? She turns around and says, you can fuck off, love. Just slams it so it opens it back up again and gets in his car and just speeds away.
Good customer service, that, like it.
I know, mate. I tell you what, I bet you see some shit like, you know, my mum's done that as well. So you know the way you can get the like an Asda delivery for like you pay a bit extra and they send you to you in less than an hour. She's had a few times when people have come round there and like they forgot their own type of fucking bacon or something like that and gone ballistic. And I've had to walk outside and say, you need to calm down here. Do you know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. And the person who's bringing it obviously hasn't stocked it up with what you've asked for, the items. So obviously the place where it comes from, they've took an alternative if they haven't got it in stock. But my mum's been out there for cooking all sorts of shit against these innocent people. I think they probably give up the job coming to our house.
Sounds like it. There's nothing quite as soul destroying. There's like you get like a really crap replacement.
It's going to happen all Christmas now as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Got to write a real hot topic here, a real big issue for me. Dan said we've had banners about corruption, we've had a jumbotron with clowns on, we've had headlocks and blue smoke. But when will we protest the real issue? Just get Kappa Everton, you shits. This is the news that we are probably most likely going to get Castore kits next year. Yeah. Anyone know what that wet look thing is on the Villa kit? Bit racy, isn't it? What is that about?
It was a mistake, wasn't it? Because Castore, however you say it, they outsource.
How do you say it, by the way?
Yeah, but they outsource all of their their manufacture to like China and stuff. So basically, it just depends on what materials are available. Like genuinely, that's what it is. So they chose a material to get made that was just rubbish. Basically, it was just a really terrible, awful.
Didn't the women's team kick off big style about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when they started the season, I think there was a big thing about because the women's season kicked off like 6 weeks after the men's season, and they were like panicking about it basically. I'm not actually sure whether, I think they have changed it now, but I'm not sure how many games they had to actually play in that kit. Yeah. But I know that there was a big thing about it. But yeah, for me, I mean, Castore, fair play, you know, some local lads who've set up a business and all that sort of thing. But for me, looking at the pricing structure and looking at the quality of the kits, I don't think we should be going near them with a barge pole. Having said that, if they're offering good money, that's probably the only thing that we can we'll go for. We'll have to go for whoever's the highest bidder. Personally, I wouldn't touch them. I think the other thing about them as well, which I hate this as well, and Nike do it as well, and I think Adidas do it, or Adidas, is the 2-tier pricing structure for kits.
So the kits,
it wouldn't be so bad if they all look the same. But what they do is, it's not like they just use a different material, so one's more breathable, and then it's not noticeably different unless you literally wear it playing football. What they do is they make the badge different. So the badge stitching will be a different colour, or it'll be noticeably different for people. Now, it might not affect like a grown adult so much, but if you're a kid, or like, you know, you've got like, you know, you're buying it for your kid, then clearly that is going to be an issue because people will feel like they have to go for the more expensive option. And I just find that really Tory. And
it's horrible.
And they're going to get ripped at school, aren't they? I mean, if your kids...
Because that's what kids are like. That's what kids are like. Like, it's like Adidas, you know, the Predators. When I was a kid, there was the Predators, and then you'd have like, you know, but then you'd have like the ones which were like look like Predators but were Predators, but they were cheaper. And if you had them, you get ripped, and it's like it's not right, but it happens. You know what I mean?
Hey Pete, just you know what? I'll go back to the old days where the JJB Sports again. You get when you used to get the new ones delivered, you obviously couldn't wait, and obviously they come in different prices. So the brand new spankers were always 130 quid, right?
Yeah.
Same as the Nike Mercurial Vapors. The professional ones, 130 quid, which obviously would be a bargain these days.
Yeah.
They had the mid-style ones, which are about 60 quid.
Yeah. Which
still looked what it was on the old Preds. To say the old Preds, what you'd call as old Preds now, not the traditional ones that we'd known as in the 90s. I'd go back to like mid-2000s maybe. And it was the heel protection. So on the professional ones, you'd have like a nice thick heel on the back of it. the mid ones, you'd have a slightly smaller one that was plastic, and then the real kids ones, which are like 30 quid, you could just tell that they were just like blagged. Everyone know them where we are. They'd say they're the blag ones, them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt really sorry for anyone who used to come in there and, they're buying a pair of footy boots for little kids, and they're getting like, it got a bit stupid, so you could get them in the size like 3 to 5, which how old's a kid who gets 3 to 5 shoes? About that age, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 years old at the most.
Yeah.
And I reckon they properly got ripped at school if they turned up on, what we call the blag ones and all that. I reckon it's terrible, that sort of thing. But going back to Castore, what's it called?
Should we call it Castore?
Castore.
No accent.
Well, I'm in the
minority as well.
Well, I'm definitely in the minority here, but I can't stand Hummel. I cannot stand it. Even I've got a load of pairs of the shorts, but that's about it because they've got the pockets in. But when I found out it was that, I was like, this is even worse. This, and like you said, I think it's a proper Tory brand, and like New Rangers have got it, haven't they? I've noticed as well, if you watch any tennis, Andy Murray's got it, Castore with his own version of them as well.
He's got shares in it, hasn't he?
That's right. And then, as you think back to the 90s, the kits that the pros had was totally different to the ones we could buy. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
It was definitely different.
We got replica kits, didn't we?
That's the one.
The pros had like proper match shirts. So I think that's what they've done sort of with these, isn't it? I think the cheaper ones are still called replica kits, and the more expensive ones are stadium shirts or something like that.
What would you get though? What would you get?
Me?
What for the kids? When that comes out and they have a replica or the pro one, and you're probably looking at one for say 100 quid, or the one 60, 70, what would you do?
I don't know, see what the kids wanted.
No,
for me, I wouldn't be paying a ton on a footy shirt. Fuck that.
Same. Same.
No
what is the difference? Like you say, if the like what Pete's talking about is the quality of it, as in the different make or whatever. But if that wasn't any difference in the colour, I really couldn't give a shit.
That's the same. That's the bit that gets me, is that if the justification for it is because they have a pro, a breathable material which costs more, I get that. That's fine. Crack on with that. Yeah. It's the fact that they try and make it sneaky by making it look different that does my head in. Like, so it's noticeable. Like, as I say, I think when Liverpool had it with Nike, where the badge, it's mainly the badge or the sponsor. The sponsor will be a slightly different size, or the badge will have like a board around it. Do you know what I mean? So it had like a white board around the stadium kit, and then a red board around the pro kit and stuff like that. It's how they do it. They try and justify it by saying it's material, but they deliberately make them visibly different. So
that's exactly what it was like with the Carlsberg shitter. Do you remember? Like, I remember like kids would have it, or like even adults they had Carlsberg for years, didn't they? In fact, they're still sponsored quite a bit by Carlsberg. But anyway, that used to peel off. It was like plastic bubble type of thing. And obviously, when you're a kid, you won't even wash it. Your mummy won't even wash it because you want to wear it like 24/7. And sometimes after about a week of having it, you'd see the Carlsberg sign pull off. And you're like, you paid top dollar for that. But you say, it looked like the players themselves didn't have that. It was just properly sewn into the actual top itself. This needs to be looked at. Tory twat.
Do you know what would be worse? Do you know what the worst thing would be? If we went back to like the old like Flock sponsorship, like for 1-to-1, but with the steak logo. Can you imagine how bad that would be?
Yeah, horrendous that, mate. What do you think? Well, did you think we'll change? Question of my own here. Do you think, obviously, because we've just been declared that this last season of Goodison's been confirmed next season, do you think they'll do anything like that? Like historically, do anything with the kits? Because if you remember when we had that one-off kit, when I always remember Sanzo wearing it in the friendly, that gorgeous kit that had like just basically a polo. I could see something like that happening. Well, I hope it does anyway with this shitty make. They should do something like that for the last season there.
I think
they won't. Not for the first year, they won't. No.
Do you not think? No, but last season at Goodison, I mean, Matt.
No, Castore won't. They'll give us the same kit that they're giving Aston Villa in a different colour. Yeah, they will.
Bastards.
Yeah, that's what I reckon as well. Well, I think Hummel pulled a lot out for this season, didn't he? Because this was always mooted to be our last season. So I think Hummel went quite big with that. But But yeah,
like traditional kits and that, the one you love, Matt, Les.
Yeah, just to Dan's point as well, Kappa make the most amazing football shirts. You're not a fan, Matt?
No,
Kappa just thinks. Well, actually, Villa. Kappa just thinks of Villa for me. Like,
yeah.
In this league, if you're wearing Kappa, you're wearing claret and blue. Like Burnley, West Ham. It's
the worst thing imaginable.
Like second tier Italian team, but that everyone loves. All of that, like proper Mundial fare, but it just doesn't feel like us.
You're right.
I'd just like to say I was one of the first in there, by the way, before Mundial with the Venezia away shirts. But anyway,
just on Kappa. Obviously, the Kappa one itself like a really inappropriate looking brand, isn't it?
What, the logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to Spain as a kid, and you have all the knockoff gear, and like someone had done like a knockoff Kappa called Hopper for some reason, but it was basically the fella nailing the woman on the logo. It was
That's what it looked like. I mean, obviously these days we couldn't say it was like two women spreading their legs, but that's exactly what it looks like. two people spreading. Delete this.
They're just sat on the beach back to back. Should we go on to Stephen's question? Seeing pictures from the Villa game, funnily enough, he's more convinced than ever that the Farmers League is the best competition by far. The only caveat is the Portaloo situation. I like the turn this question took. What's the worst toilet you've ever had to use? The Pacific used to be interesting. I am fully with him on the toilets in the PIF. They were interesting to say the least. It was an interesting pub. And
where is this, Les? I mean, is this been and gone, has it?
Yeah, the Pacific on County Road.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
It's the one that turned into the Liverpool party pad.
I've told you about the one at Wembley, haven't I? The Silver Spoons at Wembley. My experience, I've spoken about this before, where there was like a little step going down, and then you like went through one door, went down a step, and then went back up to go into the toilet. And at first it was all right, but by the end of the day, that entire like step was just filled with piss. It was like up to your ankles in piss, literally. And it was that was absolutely vile. But also the halfway house and Walton Road's got weird toilets because basically, like there's all like I used to work there in the carvery and stuff, and used to go there loads when I was a kid. And there was a problem with the toilets. So what they did was they redid the toilets, but rather than like ripping them out and like the old urinals and doing it properly, they basically just built a false wall and then put new toilets in front of in front of that false wall. So the toilets always absolutely stunk.
Oh, that's grim.
But the mad thing is that it's since been done up again, and I'm pretty sure that they've just done the same thing again because the wall is now even further out. The cubicle's massive. Yeah, genuinely. But if you go in the cubicle, you can see where the actual wall should start, and it probably is. I think that's all. You just keep boxing in old bogs and leaving them in there.
Jeez, so, I mean, it's one way of doing it, isn't it?
It stinks, but yeah.
Worst bogs you've ever been in?
Most overrated bogs, definitely the Philharmonic.
They smell as well.
Yeah, they absolutely stink. Yeah, like the whole pub. It's crap.
They're about 200 years old, aren't they?
I don't give a shite. They haven't been cleaned 200 years. Everyone raves about them like it's something you got to visit every time you come to Liverpool, and it's just crap. But no, not even in a pub. But the worst.
You say the same about Anfield, and that stinks of piss too.
Well, exactly. Yeah. They've got a 4,000-seater toilet there, haven't they? But no, not even like in a building. The toilet situation at Old Trafford Cricket Ground, outside the big party stand that they put up, it's just an absolute mess. Like they're not funneling people into any kind of queues or nothing. People are just walking in around the side, and the lads are just stood there in the high vis just chatting. And it's like I'm stood here for like half an hour trying to have a piss. And it's not hard. Like, you just need one fella to go, oh, you can't walk around the back of them and come from the other side. Just stand there. And honestly, it took me about 45 minutes just to have a piss there. It was absolutely ridiculous. And people ended up just going like over the fence in the end. Yeah. And there was like about 40 of them as well. There was loads, absolutely loads of them. It's like one of my proper old man rants that like whenever there's Portaloos at some big events, the way that they don't manage them.
Yeah.
It's a single use thing. It's the most simple thing in the world to organise 3 queues or something. We should be good at this in this country. But
yeah.
And when you're an old man, you will not be holding it in for 45 minutes, let me tell you. Dave?
Yeah, I've got a couple here. So one is Brutal Strand, which baffles me because Brutal Strand never exactly like Liverpool won, and everyone's going nuts in there when they're going out on, a Saturday afternoon to do the shopping or whatever, and go and look at the shops. Stinks in there. And the other thing that used to get me is quite ironic that the what are they called? Cakes, your rival cakes or something, isn't it? What they're called.
Yeah.
I you don't see many of them these days, but anyway, they used to blather them with that, like they stack it up with them, and you think, do you know what? That's a decent option, but it made them smell even worse. It's like you just needed an appropriate amount, like one or two. Anywhere along there, just one in each wherever.
Just something to aim for. Just one to aim for.
That's the other side of it, isn't it? It's like they're there on purpose so you can do that, see how accurate you are. And then the other one, I went to the snooker tournament in Bolton, and this is only 4 or 5 weeks ago, and it's in what's it called now? Bolton's grounds. The Macron it's called now. No, it's called the University of Bolton.
Tough Sheet Stadium.
That's the one, yeah. They've renamed it something really shite. But I'll always know it as the Reebok. But yeah, so obviously because the snooker, they've obviously got their own area in there where you can put the events on. But actually, when you come out to go to the toilet, it's in where you'd actually have to go if you were there at the stadium to watch a game. And because I'd say about the crowd was about 2,000 people watching the snooker. And they left one toilet open for everybody. But the problem was, in the middle of the session or once someone's playing a frame, you couldn't get up and go. You had to wait until that one finished. So you're getting away that when the frame had finished, about 60, 70 lads would all get up to go for a piss. So you can imagine, similar to what you were saying there, Matt, the issue that you've got is you've got about 5, 6 people who can go in there at any one time. And everyone else is queued up, so you've missed the next thing that come along. But then, as you're waiting there, if you don't get to the front of the queue, it's fucking carnage and a mess when you get in there. So me, being quite clever, obviously when you go into a modern day stadium, like the Reebok, let's say it's called that for argument's sake, there was a toilet, I'd say, about every 40, 50 yards around the whole circle of the stadium. But they didn't left that one open I've just spoken about, just that for the snooker. No security around there, so I sneaked halfway around the stadium and this toilet was empty. Like absolute bliss. Just sitting there. And I went and sat on the toilet for a minute on my phone.
In that situation, I'm definitely doing a sit down way, 100%.
Oh, mate,
the best sit down.
They are class, but it's different. Not to disrupt the lads and the ladies listening to this, but you'd have to give yourself a different shake off, don't you, when you get up from there?
Have you ever done one of them urinals that's got a game on them?
What?
Have you ever seen them? They have them in Spain, but it's like, I'm sure they've got one. It's not the beer keller. It's somewhere in Liverpool. I'm sure it's
got like a moving target on it or something.
Yeah, you've got to aim your stream to get.
I'm not having this. Having this.
Yeah. It's like do you have like horses or something, or like you've got to move it either way.
Fucking mess that.
Yeah.
There.
But they're like they come out on either side, so like there's like
that definitely happens on a shitty film that I've seen. I'm almost certain it's happened on like Scary Movie or something like that.
It's a reality. It is an actual reality.
You're getting pissed on there, 100%.
Les, there's the image for today's show.
There's also one with I remember it's got like a what you call it, like a target, and you've got to hit the target, and then it like your number goes up like as you piss. Jesus. It's like try and force yourself as much as possible out.
I'm bad at
Is that like when you go into Blackpool and you've got the kids with you? And you put 50p in, and you have that little thing where all the water comes out, and you've got to aim.
Yeah, it's like that, but you're pissing.
Oh no way! Honestly, if I've got one person stood behind me, I'm doing a ghost piss, so I'd have no chance with that pressure on. David, how do you explain deja vu? Wait, I did it last week. I'm going to hammer that joke. Mike, can we all just say a collective?
Hang on. How was that a joke?
Someone will get that. Someone will get that.
Explain it.
Because he keeps asking it.
I didn't ask it for like 3 weeks.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I just thought, how's your explanation?
I thought your answer.
I'll do it next week. I'm going to absolutely murder this joke. Mike, can we all just say, Matt, this one's for you. Coming straight at you, this one. Can we all just say collective sorry to Vitaly Mykolenko? You don't have to, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe take him for dinner or something. If you were going to, where would you take him?
Ooh. I'm trying to think. We must have a Ukrainian restaurant somewhere in Liverpool.
Maybe move away to get away from that shit.
Maybe, yeah. I'll just take him to Castro's next door to the Denby. Just get him a big pussy. I think you like that.
And back in the Denby.
And a chicky beer.
Sounds good. Dave, I would have to apologise to Vitaly Mykolenko, and I do apologise to him. It does just show that maybe young players, especially ones from other countries, need a little bit of time and some games to get any good.
Correct.
There could be a lesson in this. I don't know. Dave, where are you taking him for a scram?
He's led them all, hasn't he, on what you just said there about young players, mate. He's been a perfect example.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, I've taken to George Jerry's.
Yes, I was hoping so.
You can't celebrate because you've still not been there.
I know, but I just like you talking about George Jerry's because your face lights up. So.
Please, I'm going to... do you know what? I'm trying to figure out because I obviously can't drive anymore. I'm going to get my missus after the game to take me down there and I'll get a shitload of them and bring them into Denby. And I'm just going to open them all up across the tables, and then I want rating after everyone's.
Oh, this sounds good to me. I'm all over this.
Yeah. And you can. I'm not joking. I will bring pots of tahini and sweet chili, mate, because they're made like nowhere else. So I'm being serious here. And you know what? Hopefully that means more listeners come along to Denby for us and try some of these, mate. Because if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. And when you do taste it, you'll head down back there to get more yourself. And then when you do, I'll be getting a job with them.
It'll be worth the 5-mile trip or whatever.
That's it.
Pete, any advance on George Jerry's?
I would take him for a Boss Burger. There's a place by ours called Boss Burgers, run by Evertonians, and they do like these gourmet burgers, and they are the best thing in the world. I love them. And they do like cheesy chips and cheesy waffle fries with like bacon and like chili flakes and stuff like that. And it's just, if anyone likes burgers, get down there, Boss Burgers on Chilwell Triangle. Spot on. I say Evertonians as well. And season ticket holders, they rush back from the match to open up and all that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, spot on.
Good stuff. Does anyone remember Boss Tans?
Boss Tans, that sounds familiar to me there.
Do you remember the Sefton pub by the Elm Tree?
That's right, yeah. By the Elm Tree,
yeah, there was a tan shop there called Boss Tans. Cracking name.
Hey, listen, I know I rip you enough with this, mate, but you must have been in there quite some time.
I don't hammer the beds. What are you on about?
Yeah, mate, you look at this now. We're in the middle of winter, and I reckon if we were all standing in a row, mate, you'd look like you just got back from Rome.
Mate, I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I've just got a white background on here. That's why I look like slightly dark. And one more before we go to a break. What do you do with a problem like Joey Barton?
Fucking hell, yeah. I mean, that's another thing you could go for hours with, isn't it? Horrible.
Ignore him.
Hey, do you know what? I've got his number here as well.
I think you put him in a room with Molly McCann and ask him to explain to her why women shouldn't be talking about sports.
It's a very strange thing, isn't it? So we've got there's that female referee. Is it this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend, I think, yeah.
And he's come out and said, "Oh yeah, she's a great ref. Good luck to her." So he's fine with women like running a man's football match, but not talking about it, which is really, really weird. I just don't get it.
I've not seen anything that's more obvious than somebody trying to be as controversial and want more exposure than anybody else, mate, because he chats that much shit. What was he on the other day that I seen? He was on Question Time. It was actually the videos from a couple of years ago on Question Time. And there was a lady on it from UKIP, you know, so he's obviously getting loads of applause because it's UKIP basically. And then he said it's like you, the four women that have all trying to be MPs from the UKIP. These are all, basically going up to four ugly birds and just taking the one that looks all right. And she's the one who can she can be voted for on the election, but she still won't get it anyway. And I was like,
Christ.
Yeah, and you know what? He's an Evertonian as well, which knocks me sick. Actually knocks me sick. But it's when that thing is, I don't know if you guys, any of you lads, and I'm not going to put it in your mouth, but that James English podcast he does, the one with that he put out advertising was an utter disgrace, And that fella, he's quite popular by a lot of people, but what he does is go to, it's almost stereotypical really, going into people who've just come out of prison, ones who've sort of changed their lives. There's no problem with that whatsoever. But to sort of read the room when he gets this bell end on, when he started talking about what went on with murdered his brother.
I mean, the thing is, there's nothing,
disgrace.
There's nothing as thirsty as right-wing grifters. Nothing at all. So it's quite an easy thing to do, isn't it? You come out, you say something that's completely nonsensical, quite controversial. Suddenly you got yourself a chat show. It's that easy.
See, it's the idea. It's the idea that someone can be that thick that they could just completely dismiss the opinion of someone based on on the body they were born in. Basically, I'm not
even convinced that he thinks like that. I mean, he might.
He's not thick, mate. You know what? This controversially, sorry to interrupt. I don't think he's thick at all. I think when you hear him talk, when you used to hear him talk, I actually think there's intelligence in there, because I don't think you could be like sort of what Pete said there. I sort of reverse of what he said. I don't think you could act or deliberately be the person that he is without having a decent knowledge of what is actually going to be referred to and what is going to be said to him. It's pure deliberate effect towards others. And that's what makes me actually think, you know what, he's got something between his ears there, because he knows what he's got to say to get the controversy, which is going to get him more people talking to him.
What I would say, for a little bit of light-hearted relief, if you get the chance to watch his interview while he's playing at Marseille, where he puts on a French accent, I would definitely go and watch that, because it is very funny. And on that bombshell, we will go to the break. Let us know what adverts you get, as ever, if you do get any. And we will catch you in about 15 seconds. And we are back. For the second half, we have got some festive questions, as it is the week before Christmas, as we're recording. Gary has asked, is it acceptable to not wrap Christmas presents? Failing that, is tin foil a better alternative? He does specify that these are for adults, not for kids, because that would be sly. Got to wrap them, haven't you?
Got to wrap them. You've got to wrap the prezzies. I love wrapping prezzies. I've got my technique down to a T as well. I'm a huge fan of wrapping prezzies.
How do you wrap a bottle?
Wrap a bottle, so you wrap it round it, and then you make like a little like scrunch at the top, and then put a little bit of like bow around it or something. You know, like the stringy, glittery, stringy stuff. See,
you can still sell it. You can still sell it as a bottle.
That works.
That.
Sorry, go on, mate.
And maybe like a little label as well, like a nice little festive label, just to finish it off.
If you're using a bag, you don't write on the labels, though, surely. No one writes on the bag labels, because everyone just passes the bag round.
I've got bags here that have been reused and passed around for like 20 years.
Exactly. Same bag. But if you write on the label, it kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
Mate, it's one of my favourite times of year, this. And everyone listening to this will know what they mean here, because this is an 18 one I'm about to say here, right? But I get enough Christmas wrapping paper to wrap myself. If I could do that, I probably could, but I'd be spending a fortune to do so. But when you get your scissors out, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. The feeling when you don't even have to use the scissors. It's like it's at your mercy, and you get a hard on when you just push them through as fast or as slow as you want to, mate. And I close my eyes and think of all sorts when it's doing it. And when you get to the end of it, it's climax. Do you know what I mean? You get to the end, Oh, we got some somewhere. I'm not going to do that on yet. But mate, that feeling, and the noise of it, and it's just so crisp. It's not like you can look like you've made it yourself because you can keep it that straight. You can have a bevy while you're doing it, and it just feels. Oh,
but
yeah.
There's nothing worse though than when you get to just before the end, about like a couple of inches up towards the end, and it's and you slow down too much and it skews off and rips.
Yeah,
I hate that. That is devastating.
What wrapping paper are you using there? You don't have to. You get it on the end, and you don't have to do a thing.
You can. I do know you get into some sort of flow state as those scissors are gliding through the paper without like snipping them. You do go into some flow state. My flow state isn't quite as excitable as yours, Dave, but I do know what you mean.
Mate, you definitely get a semi on. You definitely get a semi on.
Hey, we're all going to have a semi on after Tuesday night, lads. Here we go.
Tomorrow night as well.
If anyone sees Dave sitting in the corner of the Denby cutting Christmas paper, mind your business.
don't
no, yeah, exactly. Haley's learned not to send me to get the Christmas paper from like wherever you get it from. I have to sit and wait in the car.
We're not going to license for this. Bloody hell.
Why is the wrapping paper? Dave, why is the wrapping paper everywhere? It's June.
Yeah, anyone wants anything wrapping, throw it my way if they can't.
Matt, what are your thoughts on wrapping?
I tell you what, one of the greatest innovations of recent times is, I don't know if it's recent, I've only just noticed it in about the last 10 years, printing a grid on the backside of wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Absolute genius and so helpful. But yeah, Christmas got to be wrapped. Birthday stuff, maybe in a gift bag, you can get away with that, but you've got to wrap Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Even the art stuff, mate. Yeah. Even the art stuff, like a bike, you've still got to wrap a bike.
Yeah, I had to wrap a giant stuffed tiger once. It was like, I don't know, about 5 foot long, and it was got 2 rolls. But I managed to do it.
It took some time, that.
Yeah, no, it was good. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere. But what's annoying is where you're just doing like one little thing. So we had a bit of a Secret Santa thing in work because we just moved into a brand new office. It's got no mugs in it for the coffee machine. So someone had a great idea. Secret Santa buy each other a mug. And I drew this fellow who used to be in the RAF. And I couldn't really be bothered buying a whole roll of wrapping paper from the supermarket over the road for one little mug box. So I printed off a pattern of planes on a piece of A3 paper and used that as the wrapping paper. And it was exactly the right size.
Good work.
I just download like a high res stock image or something.
Do you know
like a repeating pattern?
Do you know what the work Christmas? You know, there's a limit everyone gives, isn't it? Like I remember most years, like I've never done it in the BBC. I don't think they're nice enough to do that. But you know when you do that sort of thing, whatever work you're in, it's like, what is it? Christmas? What's it fucking called in my head?
What, Secret Santa?
Secret Santa, that's it. Yes, for Secret Santa. And there's always some bellend who comes in with something they've actually spent quite a bit of money on just to, like, outdo everyone else, you know what I mean? And, like, the easy thing to do is, like, it's 5 of each, 10 of each, go and get a nice box of chocolates or something like that, come back in, or like a cup. But there's a real prick in there who come in with Thorntons, proper fucking big box out of Thorntons. He'd come in with whoever he got. But, you know, you can get, like, the names on a piece of chocolate in Thorntons. Mate, he did all that as well. He'd double up, he'd go about 20, 30 quid for people, and he'd come in and he was despised for doing so. It went the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Unless you were the person that he got, you'd be fucking buzzing, do you know what I mean? You're like, I've got a present for someone else here.
Big teddy bear with Dave on it.
That's it, mate.
I got a mug this year in Secret Santa, and it said, I'm an Evertonian, and this is the only cup I'm getting this year. That's what it. I said, whoever got me this, the joke is on you, because we are winning the League Cup this year. So,
well, that's next year technically, isn't it? So
I've seen one where you know those you know those mugs where when the hot water goes in them, it like reveals the photo. I've seen some boss ones where it's like cop-ites or gobshites, and they've got it for like a cop-ite in work, and then they thought, it's a nice like black mug, and then they got to use it. It just reveals cop-ites or gobshites. Love all that.
You can also get pens like that, as I remember, if you turn them upside down. That's another story.
Yeah.
Les, I was just going to ask: is there going to be? Are we doing one more mailbag before Christmas Day?
Yeah, we should do one next Friday.
Proper Christmas weekend one.
Yeah, we need to. Actually, we'll do the Royal Rumble then.
Oh yeah. It's going off that.
Yeah. Right, Laura. What's the worst thing? Just Laura to ask this. What's the worst thing you've done on a Christmas party? Dave replied, "Went to it," which is fair enough.
That's been naughty if he's only changed that. Just went to it.
Fucking hell,
mate. Some bad days, man.
I've not really. I think I said last week I fell over on the dance floor and couldn't get back up. I've not actually done anything particularly bad.
No, I've not done anything bad. Like, I mean, back in the day, I may have like.
What are you saying? What are you defining as bad?
I reckon bad as copping.
Like I haven't punched anyone or like like had a kick off or anything like that. I mean, nothing too outrageous. Like,
you're definitely thinking something seriously bad in your head there, aren't you? I'm just
no, I do remember getting snowed in St. Helens once, and having to go to a hotel. But that wasn't bad.
I've got a. Well, you've got the typical one there. You mentioned, Les. You end up like necking with someone, and then the next time you see them in work, you don't even want to look at each other. No, I've done that many times and gone and sat in the toilets for the rest of the day. But the one I've got really is
with a load of wrapping paper, or
that's it, mate. Just give me your wrapping paper back. I'll be happy. What I had was we went for a few drinks around. Do you know when you get off the bus in Queen's Square, and they have the Wetherspoons just as you get out of it, and you walk down, and when you turn left, that's where the tower is. Up the tower. So we sort of started drinking there, and then went up to Hanover Street and all that, and then don't know where we had the table, but like a fucking room booked somewhere in and around that place. I think it's actually where it used to be the hairdressers by that fella who passed away. Herbert's, that's right, yeah. So they made that, I don't know if it's still the same now, they made that into a lovely little bar. So, we were in there. So me and my mate were late. And badly. We had a bevy in his beforehand, so we like pissed. Got off and, like I say, walked down in said road towards Hanover Street. Do you remember where the Disney shop was, which is now a boozer, some sort of restaurant thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's why the fucking statue of the horse. Do you remember that? Yeah. Where you've got the road to go over to the bottom of Old Street, basically. And there's a Burger King and all that right next to Central Station. So we were bursting for a piss. So we were looking at each other like, where do we go here? So, never forgive us, like, but went and had a piss outside the Disney shop.
I mean,
that's bad, isn't it? That's really bad.
One, that.
Looking out, right? And then, the worst thing was 2 police officers came up to us and said, like, what he's doing, lads, what he's doing. So we were that pissed, like, mate, just let us off for having a piss. He said, you're either going to take this ticket off us and you've got to pay 80 quid, or you can go and spend the rest of your night in this fucking Matrix van with us. So obviously the both of us are going, just give us the tickets. But we were that young. I say that young. We were about 16 at the time. But like, you look at me, I looked about 45 when I was 16. So I was fine bevying around and all that. And the night itself was horrendous because we were, both of us, just devastated that we had to tell our mum and dad that this fucking happened. Just because we worked in fucking JJB for £2 an hour. We weren't able to afford 80 quid to pay this, you know what I mean? And the worst thing was, you get, like, take a while to pay the ticket or whatever, and I would give it to my mum and dad, and, like, you get bollocked and all that, but it's all right in the end. That cheeky bastard put my address on the fucking ticket. So I got 2 of them sent to ours. And so obviously my mum and dad have thought, hang on, where the fuck have you been going here, getting these all over town? So I ended up having to pay near 200 quid. So that was a bad night, because we went to where it was, and then it just wasn't the same. Do you know what I mean? Looking for a decent night there, maybe finding a girl and all that. I just wanted to go home straight away.
It is going to put a damper on it, but then don't have a piss outside the Disney store.
When Dave said,
if you mention you having a piss and then Disney in the same sentence, that means different things these days, doesn't it? When you don't mention it was actually closed when I was having a piss in front of the Disney shop.
Oh, fair enough then, yeah. I suppose.
But
you didn't know that.
Didn't quite get that.
When Dave actually said, like, and the worst thing was, I was waiting for him to say the worst thing was it was still open. like afternoon Christmas berries, and it's just like
throwing the
little kids going out with a big Mickey Mouse or the Monsters Inc. thing, and Dave stood there.
Winnie the Pooh fuming.
Matt, any horror stories from a Christmas party?
No, not really. The only bad thing I usually do is just not get home and end up giving on someone's couch in Borrington or wherever. And then last year I woke up on this lad's couch and he was in the Zoom meeting, like on the other side of the living room, actually doing his job. And I was just like, it was his fault for pulling out a bottle of Ray and Nephew when we got back there. And then when I finally got myself together to leave, I looked out the window and the snow was about 4 foot deep. I was like, Jesus Christ. But I think the worst thing I've ever done is not drink, because it was 16, I think, 2016 maybe. And I had to drive to Carrow Road the next day and leave at like 6 a.m. So I couldn't have nothing. So I was ferrying people home. Like, I was quite popular that night. But
that's a lot to take, isn't it? Piss people at
have you noticed how, like, when you go, I've done it before. I've driven to when there's been particularly the BBC ones. I've driven over to Salford and everyone's getting bladders and there. It's obviously not the same when everyone's doing all sorts around you and all that. But then when you get to the point where it gets to like 3, 4 in the morning, or the New Year's one, basically, where everyone stays out all night, you actually feel like clever. When you get up in the morning, you're like, fucking sound this now. Everyone's in bed. I feel sound. I'll take the dogs for the walk. I'll go and get my newspaper. Sound for me. But I don't think there's many people who actually do that these days.
What, that also kicks in if you don't have a bevy on a night out. Once you ride out the first few hours and it's time everyone's getting a taxi and you're driving, that's quite a good feeling as well. Because you're standing there thinking, I couldn't be arsed waiting for the taxi now.
Hey, mate, that's the tactic for when you want to score a girl late on as well, isn't it?
Never tried it, but... Right, Adam.
It said...
Is going to the pub on Christmas Day before your lunch an acceptable way of spending Christmas Day?
No.
I'd say going to booze before your dinner's all right. As long as you don't stay in there and miss your dinner.
As long as
couple of boozes at home.
As long as you tip properly and you make sure that the bar staff get a proper good tip on
Adam's
every
definitely
drink that you buy. Yeah, good. I don't see a problem in that. I remember working in pubs on Christmas Day, and it would vary between, it was like two extremes where you'd have some people who were brilliant and they understood that it was your Christmas Day as well, but then you'd have other people who'd be like, it's my Christmas Day and you're ruining it because there's a queue. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I can't, like, I've literally, so yeah, I think if you are going to go to the pub on Christmas Day, just be mindful that it is Christmas Day for the bar staff too, and make sure you tip them.
Take some change.
Sounded like Tiny Tim there, Pete.
Yeah. That's my Christmas message.
Everyone.
That's my 2023 Christmas message to all. Don't be a Tory. Make sure you tip.
Liam has asked best and worst Christmas gift you have ever received. I've got one, not me, but Louise got a second-hand bra off someone one year.
That's mad. That is seriously bad.
You've got like those relatives or family friends that just buy really shit presents.
Yeah.
Second-hand bra. Wow. Heavy stuff, that.
Let's be honest. For me, it's quite an easy answer because it's my birthday on Sunday, 17th. If anyone wants to get me any, on the 17th. So it's only 8 days till Christmas Day then. So the shit people in your family only get you one thing for the both days because they won't talk to you on your birthday and then rock up to you on Christmas and go, oh, here you are, Dave, here you are. And it's
bad, that.
African links, do you know what I mean? Or some shit like that. or do the opposite. See me on my birthday, but I won't see them on Christmas. And I remember one day, listen, my own sister, my only sister, lives about 3 miles away from where we are, right? And she never see me on my birthday because she'd always make an excuse. I'd be like, oh, me and Hayley, rest of the family, Hayley's family, we're all going for a nice meal for me. Yeah, as we're doing this Sunday. And then she come up to me on one year, I can't remember, it must be about 10 years ago. She come up to me on Christmas Day and goes, oh, we take this for your birthday as well. I was like, mildly excited, thinking, oh, it might be decent this day. Comes up with something that's wrapped. And I'm thinking, she doesn't normally do that. She normally just, like I said, throws Lynx Africa towards me. And I opened it up. And it was a book. And the book was William and Kate.
Oh, God.
The history of William and Kate. And I just looked at it. I said, are you having a fucking laugh? And I'm not joking, mate. Right? She's 13 years older than me. I love the bones of her husband as well, lovely fella. And the pair of them managed to sit there looking at me with serious faces. And mate, I was fucking seething. I threw it on the floor. I was that bladdered. I started dancing on it. Mate, I just said, don't ever speak to me again whenever it's around. And wait until you see what you get in your birthday on the 21st of March. Because I'm going to have a shit in a book and give it up.
I love the fact that you've seen that book and says, love this, David, love that.
Yeah, exactly. Been walking around fucking W.F. Smith thinking, oh, that one looks nice there. The easiest person to get a book for, like footy, like golf, take your pick. Fucking
Matt.
William and Kate's fucking greatest days and all this shit.
Matt, would you appreciate a William and Kate book? I reckon you would.
You could have got it signed.
No.
I just
want a TV show.
Any good or bad presents? Spring to mind?
I can't think of any bad ones I've had myself, to be honest. I've had loads of good ones. Going back to me mug, the lad who got me, we happened to be talking about early doors at a swanky industry dinner the other week, and he got me an early doors mug with little sort of sketches of all the characters and to the regiment. I wish I was there.
Tremendous.
I'm still made up with that. He smashed it out the park.
Yeah.
But bad ones. I know someone once who was given a bag of Uncle Ben's microwave rice by their mother-in-law. That's a mess, isn't it?
That's a disgrace.
She hates him, doesn't she? She proper hates him.
That's a message.
There's Boxing Day sorted out though with that.
That's such a passive-aggressive present, that isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you can't use
That's just blatantly aggressive, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Full on hatred, that. My God.
Pete?
Oh, do you know what? I can't think of any bad ones. I find, anyone who's made the effort, although to be fair, I've never been given a William and Kate book, so it's
bag of rice?
Can't really get bag of rice. To be fair, I would probably find some use out of it, you know what I mean? I don't think there is such thing as a bad present. If someone's put thought into it, again, here's your Christmas message from Pete. If you put thought into it, then there's no such thing as a bad present.
For fuck's sake, would you pack it in?
If you end up giving Dave a William and Kate book, then you clearly hate him as much as the one who got the Uncle Ben dress.
Is that not the most Tory thing as well, by the way?
It's a very strange show.
Yeah.
So is Boris Johnson's autobiography off the...
That'll be on it, yeah. Yeah.
Right, lads,
or something like that.
We'll finish on a couple of quick ones. Just nice, quick one-word answers we'll do for this, and we'll wrap up. There you go.
Oh, mate.
Dave's getting excited.
Dave's
getting excited.
Sometimes.
That's Semion's back, mate, isn't it, with these?
Toffees in London. What's the latest time you've ever left to do your Christmas shopping? Christmas Eve afternoon for me.
Definitely done that.
Half one in the afternoon, yeah. Christmas Eve.
Everywhere's chocolate because a lot of people do it as well. A lot of people do it, so it does become a bit of a worry. But I've done it for many years where I've been walking around thinking, what an idiot you've been doing this. What a fucking idiot you've been going this way.
Done it again.
Yeah, that's it. You sit there, fucking hell, this again. Where's the bar?
Matt, what's the
I
latest?
suppose sometimes you get lucky, don't you? You know, there's someone you're not seeing till like after New Year, so you can leave it to like that dead week.
Nice,
And that's
nice.
ideal.
That's a shout.
That is a great technique, great tactic. We do like family stuff on Boxing Day as well, and I'll be honest, a lot of the time I will pick stuff up on Boxing Day just because,
Cheaper?
it saves space, doesn't it? Saves space. Also cheap.
Yeah.
That's awful, but it's so true.
Yeah. Even then, it's chocolate as well, isn't it? I've done a few times where I've like, someone's wanted something particular they've asked you for, and in the end, I've just gone cash. I've just gone to the cash machine and said, "There you go and sort it out for yourself." And like half the family is sort of okay with that because some of them like the idea of doing it. Maybe they can go and get it a bit cheaper on the sales. But some like I'd go as far as saying the other half of the family are fucking irate with you because there's no thought towards going to a cash machine.
Just think of the rapping you're doing out to yourself there as well, Dave.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And we'll finish
give me that for Christmas. If anyone wants to give me anything for my birthday, by the way, on Sunday.
Boris Johnson autobiography.
Wrapping paper and some condoms, that'll do me.
Right, let's finish on this one then. The hot topic. What's your favourite Christmas song, Pete?
Dwight McNeil scoring goals at Christmas time. Dwight McNeil scoring goals at Christmas time. There you go.
There's the Grinch. There's the Grinch for you.
Matt?
Alone on Christmas by Darlene Love and the East Street Band from Home Alone 2.
Oh, nice. Good choice.
Nice.
Very good choice. Dave?
It has to be, and it's a sad year for it, obviously, the Pogues. That song for me, which has very, very little to do with Christmas. It's not like heavily a Christmas song, but the black and white video of it and all that stuff, and New York side of it and things. Just I love the sort of mood of Christmas it gets you into. I've tried this year to keep it as long as possible because obviously everyone starts putting the trees up and all that. I mean, I know some ridiculous people who started putting it up in like the last week of November, which I think that's nuts. We only put ours up about a week ago. Thinking around about first week to 14, something like today type of thing. Maybe today's a little bit too long, like, but that's the sort of thing where we'll start putting our tree up, bang the songs on, like the hits on your Sky, whatever it is, and just they play dead loud, have a little wine or whatever while you're doing it all, and that's when you're proper getting the Christmas mood.
Yeah, I just on Fairy Tale in New York, I had the misfortune to hear a cover version of it before by a band called Creeper. Would not recommend. Creeper. Oh, absolutely. Right. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. You're not. There's the picture of it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That there you go. That needs to be the cover for when you're putting it out on Twitter.
On this subject as well, on the subject of Christmas songs, keep an eye out for a certain Evertonian on Twitter who produces Everton related songs, who may at some point may or may not be releasing some Christmas tunage.
And if it is released, it should be the Christmas number one.
Yeah. Go without saying.
Some player's going to be in that, aren't he?
Keep an eye out for that then, everyone.
Just jumping back, Dave, on Fairy Tale New York, have you heard the story about why he got made?
No. You've got to tell us that.
Shane McGowan got pissed with Elvis Costello, and Elvis Costello bet him that he couldn't write a Christmas hit. So he just blasted that out. Yeah.
Oh, mate. I'd rather have that in a book than fucking Kate and William. That sounds, oh, mate. I need to go and look that up.
Right, that's the job next. So listen out for this song that may or may not be coming out from a certain Evertonian diva, am I allowed to say?
Oh,
possibly over the next week. Keep an eye out for that. We will catch it just before Christmas, so I won't say Happy Christmas now. I'll say Happy Christmas to everyone in case you don't listen or in case you're not on next week. So thanks to Pete, thanks to Matt, thanks to Dave, thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We got through them all this week. Oh, sorry, Gary said on that. Easy. I don't care who comes to me. Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas. That's Gary's. Yeah, there we go. Have a good Christmas. If you don't see you next week, I have lost the plot with the ending. There you go. That was Mailbag. We'll catch you next time.